Hi everybody and welcome to Animal Drawing with Alicia Dianne, and I am going to be doing some grizzly bears today. I'm actually designing a new logo for my group meetup. It's Cartoon Art Center, and I'm just doing some practice drawings here first of some grizzly bears, and then I'm going to caricaturize them and do some cartoons with them, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So I decided, hey, if you guys want to practice drawing some bears with me, then I would love that, and I hope that you guys enjoy it too. So if you're interested in drawing animals, then this is the perfect place to be. So you can go ahead and grab a sketchbook and a pen or pencil if you want to draw along with me. I have my reference images up, and we're just going to be drawing from some reference drawings. So I'm going to go ahead right now and link up to my Photoshop window, which I already have the references already there for us to use. So I'm going to do a couple of minute poses. I think we'll start with let's start with some 3-minute poses just to get us warmed up, and then we'll go into a few longer poses. So let's go ahead and let me grab my little stylus and let's start now. So if you guys are not familiar, I'm sure you probably are. You've seen the California state flag, and it actually has a bear on it. There aren't a brown bear, which are, I think they're pretty much the same species as a grizzly bear. I don't feel like I don't think scientifically that there's any difference between a brown bear and a grizzly bear. But there aren't a whole lot of them running around, Los Angeles, but at least not anymore. But the history is that there used to be tons of bear all over California state, and so much so that is why they are actually in our California state flag. So I'm going to be using the brown bear or the grizzly bear as a reference for designing a new mascot for the group that is out here in California. So I hope that you guys, obviously you don't have to be designing a logo to practice drawing animals or any type of animal, but that is where I got our inspiration from for today. And you see I'm just drawing pretty quickly, just trying to get the base of him down, or her, I don't know. And see how else can I add some. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on 1 second. Hello? Oh my goodness, sorry guys. I'm live, so I had to stop. My son was calling me. It's only his second day in this summer program, so I just wanted to make sure that it was okay. But sorry about the interruption. I'm gonna go ahead and use some other darker colors. But what's I gonna say? One thing that I wanted to talk about that kind of came up today was it's gonna go on to the next post. We'll do some more. So one thing that I wanted to talk about today was having integrity in your drawings, or being intentional about this type of subject matter that you draw. So it came up today for me personally, and it's something that I realized, and I guess it's something that I don't know if you all have come into any sort of experience with this, and maybe you have, maybe you haven't. If you haven't yet, then you probably will at some point in your artistic career. But for me, it came up that I did this political, sort of a sketch where I was kind of Well, I was absolutely not kind of. I was totally making fun of President Trump, and I kind of had this like funny idea. And no, I don't agree with his politics, and don't necessarily support him. But it came up for me that this is, it just felt weird because it's not like um, the type of drawings that I usually typically do, and it's just felt in some type of way like it wasn't really me. I mean, I had the experience years and years ago when I was a kid of like making some type of funny like caricature of someone in my class, and everybody thought it was funny except for the person that actually drew, and then it ended up hurting their feelings, and it's like, and I kind of realized right there, well, it's not funny if it's hurting somebody, and I kind of forgot that. I think it's not something that I ran into again at any recent time until I did that, and it just felt, even though you might not agree with someone, or like might not even care for them particularly, it doesn't necessarily mean that you should lower yourself into someone that's like poking fun. Or it just felt like, for me personally, that it's not really the type of person that I'm trying to be. And for that reason, I just felt like, you know what, I'm not even gonna um, continue sharing this, because I just felt like it wasn't me. And I feel like whatever you put on the internet, and I've heard this from like several different people that have, of course, lots of people have opinions on what to post and what to share. And of course, it comes down to what you make. But after you make it, even if it's just something in jest or whatever, maybe like think twice before you post it. Because I mean, even if it's not necessarily harmful, like if you feel like it's not conducive to the image that you feel is you, and like the image that I felt was me, didn't feel like the type of person that makes fun of people, even if I don't necessarily agree with them. And it's something I think that I have to like realize lately. And it's like, I don't know, I think the more you kind of, I guess, let me see, how can I put this better into words? That is really what I'm trying to say. Um, I guess the less social you are, which can happen, especially if you're an independent artist and you work primarily independently, it can be kind of blurred, I guess, of what you really think is funny and what's not. And I had to kind of think about that for a moment and kind of say, hey, you know what, maybe I could put something like that and maybe it wouldn't be that harmful. But for me, I just felt like that's not me. It's not who I am, and it's not who I'm trying to become. So, I mean, to make a long story short, and I know I kind of dragged on with that, but I just feel like it's worth talking about. Like any kind of a lesson that I feel like I learned, I feel like maybe I can talk about it like in some extent and say, hey, be careful what you, especially making art about something, because you devote a certain amount of hours. I mean, I spent a long time. I spent like 3 hours to draw and fully color this illustration. It was really well rendered, and it was like, okay, I'm not saying that I'm so great, but just saying I spent a lot of time like rendering. It wasn't just like a loose pencil sketch. So, and it can be confusing, just because as a caricature artist or a cartoonist, um, or someone that does character designs, I mean, if you work in comedy, the whole kind of aspect is you're trying to make people laugh and you're trying to be funny. But sometimes we have to really rethink about what's funny and what's not funny. And really, do I really want to have fun at someone else's expense? And even if that same person might, have fun at your expense, doesn't necessarily mean that that's who you want to be. Certainly not who I'm trying to become. I know that sounds kind of a downer, but I feel like it was worth talking about and mentioning, because it's something that you don't even really think about. No, and I had doubts. I had a lot of doubts, like the whole time I was making it. I had like some doubts, like, is this even funny at all? I'm gonna go to the next post. It's already past the timer. I push it. I'm gonna post again. And I have to think, is this even funny at all? And if you have that many doubts about what you're making, then probably it's not. Maybe you need to just have some time off and just think about it a little bit more and say, is this really the message I want to give to everybody of who I am? Because every piece of art that you put out is kind of telling everyone that this is who I am. And you have to be kind of careful of that. Not that you have to be people pleasing or that you should be people pleasing at all, but you should be true to yourself, and what you put out should be what's more of a true representation of who you are. And for me, it just didn't feel like it was a true representation of who I am. And I think I'll think twice again before I spend hours or any time at all devoted to a piece of art that I don't feel is true to who I am. So that's just something to think about. That sounds heavy. It feels like too heavy to do, like, but I mean, I'd rather say something than, maybe you had plans to make something or something, but you felt a little bit weird about it because you knew it might hurt someone's feelings, or you knew it wasn't really who you wanted to represent yourself as. And my kind of theory about politics and things like that are a little bit sketchy and whatever, if you don't agree with someone, I think it's better just to, like, not put your attention on them, but put your attention on rather a solution to whatever it is that you do believe in. Rather than sit there and argue or fight about with the person that you disagree with, why not just put all of that energy and all of that time and all of that effort into solution making? It's just, if we all did a little bit more of that, it would just make life so much easier, I think, and so much better, and it would make us all braver and feel better about ourselves. We don't want to feel, ungood. I know it's a really word, but nobody wants to feel like ungood about themselves. So why, make other people feel ungood about themselves? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. But no, it's just food for thought, I think. Food for thought. Well, hopefully it helps someone in their decision making, at least somewhat. Okay, let's go to the next pose. And let's see. Then I'll go ahead and start a timer. We're going to do another 3-minute pose. I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm kind of fun facts I'm going to share about bears. I don't know if I have it. I should, like, seriously get some, like, fun facts about bears, about animals that I'm about to draw. I don't know if that will help. You guys tell me what you're interested in hearing about from me. It's like more of these type of drawings, the animal drawing workshops, or like the characters, or the life drawings, or the subject matter that I'm bringing up during my thought invoking, hopefully thought invoking conversations. or somewhat, at least mildly entertaining or something like that. Well, today's movie is Cinderella, just in case you were wondering. I wasn't sure. I just was listening to this video on YouTube. And I really like listening to like different types of videos on YouTube just to like get some inspiration. This goes up way too far. Constantly look back at your reference because like you might see something one way, and if you keep looking at it, you'll see that it's something totally else. Like I was looking at that hunter's back, and it looked like it was pretty high up at first, and then I kept looking at it, and it's like, no, it doesn't go up nearly that high. So like keep looking back at your reference. You'll be surprised what you see the third, fourth, fifth, sixth time. Like every time you look at it, it becomes a little bit more clear. And that's why just observation, like that's why I think drawing in person and drawing even if it's, it doesn't matter if it's animals or people, just drawing in person, it just trains your eye to observe, and I think that is like been like super helpful. But even like right now, I mean, I get to observe his shape and his body, but like watching in person, you get to observe their movement, their personality, and it's even like can be like subconscious, like you're not even paying that much attention, but you'll start to notice the patterns. You watch people or animals often enough, you start to see the patterns of the way that they move. You know, this thing that helps your overall art making. The next pose, we'll do another 3-minute pose. Oh, I started already. This is a great one. This one has a lot of energy in it. Like this one looks pretty playful. I caught myself this morning. That's another thing I want to talk about too. I caught myself this morning. I was like, I don't know. I was like feeling great yesterday. I was like, I'm just like great, like motivation and starting to feel like, you know, energetic and stuff like that. And then like somewhere like midday, I just got caught up and started like not feeling that great again. Like, oh, I don't feel so good. And like, I don't really feel like doing anything anymore. Like you ever like lose like your steam midday and you're just like, I don't have any energy left. That kind of happened to me yesterday. I was doing well, I was doing great, and all of a sudden I just like lost it. Just lost all my energy and all my like mojo. Oh man. And so like this morning I kind of like it was still kind of with me a little bit. And I was just like, oh gosh, how am I gonna like, you know, get myself going again? And at first like I just wanted to like not do anything. I just wanted to like let me just like just chill today and like just play some video games or something and like just have a really chill day. And I was just like, that's not gonna make me feel any better. I haven't done that in like a while, but it just feels like I'm so different now than I used to be like 10 years ago, where I could just play games, you know, for a whole day and just let that be it. But now I really think about it. I'm like, how am I gonna feel at the end of the day if like that's all I did? All I did was play, and like that's not gonna help me. Like I was like, just start drawing or painting something. So I just started working on some illustrations this morning, and you know that little feelings you have of like no energy, it goes away. It goes away after a little while. You just have to like start moving. It doesn't matter like how you move, just start moving. Move in a positive direction. Do something that you know you won't regret later. For me, that's typically drawing. That is typically drawing. So now I look and I think some of the stuff that I did today, I was like, wow. There's this illustration that I did of the Lost Boys, and I did it like 2 years ago. This full illustration of the Lost Boys. And while I was working on it, What happened? There was a fire in my neighborhood, and that was well, not it wasn't far from my neighborhood, but anyway, my neighborhood was evacuated, and so we had to pick up and leave, and kind of had to rush everything as much as we could out of the house or out of the apartment. And when I came back, oh, I have to go the other way. When I came back, I'm gonna start a timer, 3 minutes. My computer just died. It just like kaputted on me. So I lost like almost everything. I only had the what I had backed up before, which was not, the illustration that I had just completed. So I mean, I was glad that I at least had all my old stuff, but I didn't have the work I had done for the last couple of days. So I lost my full size illustration of the last place that I did. I only had the web version, which I usually make a smaller version to post on the internet. That's like a 72 DPI as opposed to like the 300 DPI that I created in. So anyway, I had the web version, but I didn't have the full DPI. That's for like making prints and stuff like that. And so I was so like bummed out by it that I didn't work on it. I just had I had at least the drawings done and like 2 out of the 5 or 6 characters covered, but not the rest. And so what happened was I just put it off. And I just put it off, and I was like, gosh, I'll get to it someday. At least I have the web version. But, I never stopped and just did the color again. Because, like, I don't know, for some reason, I just hate redoing stuff a lot of the time. I don't like to redo something. If I've already done it, it's like done. The fact that I had to redo it was just like so, just like disheartening to me, I guess is the best word that I can think to use. But anyway, today, after 2 years, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I just felt like, okay, I can do it. And I did it. And you know what? I feel a lot better that I did it instead of putting it off for another couple of more years, because now I can actually have the prints of my work and not just, the little pixelated version. So I wouldn't have had that done if I didn't give myself up and actually decide, okay, today I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do it. So I'm glad for that. And with that, so maybe there's something that you've been putting on for a while. Maybe it's something that you have to redo, which is just kind of sucks. I don't like to have to redo anything, but I mean, it happens, especially as an artist. There's gonna be times where you're gonna have to redo things, especially God knows when you have a client, you have to redo things all the time. So maybe today's the day that you want to get that done. Never know. They're really massive bodies. Okay, guys. I think we're gonna do one more, and then we'll call it a day for now. So this is gonna be our last one, and we'll do this as let's go ahead and do this as a 5-minute pose. And we're gonna go ahead and do the lighter version first. Do the lighter color pencil or brush tool. To eke it out a little bit better. Try and outline all the parts of his lower body that stand out most to me. And figure out where to put his foot. Okay. saying thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate everyone who watched. I know I'm still like feel like sort of an amateur at YouTube and posting and stuff like that, but hopefully I'm learning. But I'm definitely willing to continue to put myself out there, and hopefully that something that I'm doing is helping someone out there, and I hope it is. And if there's any drawings that you have that you've done during any of my either Figure Friday or animal drawing and you want to share, then I would love to see. I'd love for you to share with me and let me know. And these references that I'm using now, oh my goodness, that's so funny. Trying to move the legs down a little bit. I feel like they're up too high. So move it down just a little. But if there's any drawings that you've done watching, then I would love for you to share. You can share your link to website or blog or social media where maybe you posted this right there in the comments. And I would love to see. And hopefully they're helping you somewhat at least. But the best thing that you can do, and I hope that you guys get a chance to do this week, is go out to your local zoo, support all of the local zoos. At least I know in the United States, I don't know what the policies are in other countries, but proceeds do help the National Wildlife Federation and the World Wildlife Federation in most circumstances. So it's worth looking into. You get to draw some wildlife that you will not encounter on a regular basis. At least I hope so. And get some good drawing in. Bring your sketchbook or bring some watercolors next time. Go to the zoo and just give it a try drawing the animals from life. It's such a great experience. Certain locations even have wildlife reserves and refuges and places where you can go and observe, and most of these places will be more than happy to let you draw and paint without asking any questions. They don't mind. They love it, actually, most of the time that I've been encountered with any zoo staff. They're really excited to see me drawing the animals. So I mean, it's a great thing to do. It's a great experience. It's great for you. It's good for the animals when you go visit the zoo. Thank you. And that's all I can say. It's awesome. So hopefully you guys get a chance to do that, hopefully even this week. And I don't know, I just love it. I think it's great. I really need to learn is how to do shade and shadows. I'm learning little by little. Okay. Oh, we're just about done. That was a 5-minute alert. But you can continue drawing, and if you are, then that's great. And I hope that you're able to share some of your drawings with us. Just post it in the comments, post the link in the comments. And I hope that you guys have an excellent day, excellent week, and a happy almost first day of summer. We got like 2 more days. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that, and I'm gonna switch it to my view. And I just want to say that you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful week, and dream big, be grateful, live balance, and most important, to be yourself. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.